Hi, my name is Jasmine Balknight, and I chose to look at different bus lines to see how user-friendly their websites were. Now, I looked at 4 different aspects on each website. I chose to look for the process of figuring out the bus schedules and the fare prices, just to see how easy that was. The contact information, such as in case the customer had a problem or needed or just a general inquiry that wasn't found on the website. The areas that were served, just as to see the different trips that were possible and how easy it was to discover that sort of information, and whether or not they had a rewards program, and if they did, how easy it was to find out more about what the rewards program offered and how easy it was to join. Now, I looked at the 4 different websites, and I looked at Greyhound, Boltbus, Megabus, and Peter Pan. Now, all the websites were pretty similar in some aspects. Some of them sort of stood out in one area and may have needed some work in others. The first website that I actually looked at was Boltbus. Now, immediately when I went on there and I tried to click on the contact us link on the main page, it didn't work at all. The frequently asked questions page did contain that information, but it was pretty buried down and it was sort of difficult to find. So I thought that was a little inconvenient. But their process for figuring out the bus schedules and fares was actually one of the easiest out of all the websites. You just select all the different options. It's just a little menu, and you select from there, click a date on the calendar, and then it displays all the different bus schedules and fare prices for that particular day. The next one that I looked at was Megabus. Now, Megabus had a pretty cool interactive map that I thought was very easy and user-friendly. It's just a big map of the continental United States, and it has little dots representing the places that the Megabus operates out of. And I thought that was pretty cool to just be able to look at the map to see if your trip was even possible. Now, there was no customer service information available on the page though, and there wasn't a rewards program at all either, so it was sort of difficult to gauge that. Now, Greyhound had the best customer service page out of all the websites. Their page was very, very detailed and very organized and carefully laid out. It had different subheadings, and it just had like a section for whether you needed baggage claim. There was an address in case you needed a refund. There was even a separate phone line just for people with disabilities, a separate phone line for people that needed, that spoke Spanish or spoke a different language. So I thought that was very easy and helpful for potential customers. Their bus schedule section wasn't as user-friendly though as perhaps Boltbus, because you had to type out all the information, then you had to wait for it to pop up so you could click on it, and it was just a lot. But their rewards program was very carefully laid out too. It had a separate website for that, and just a frequently asked questions page for that, and it told you very easily how to join and what the rewards were. Peter Pan was the last one that I looked at, and I'd say that this was probably the best website in just in the terms of trying to figure out the different areas that were served, because it had a page where it laid out all the different stations, and it was organized by state. So you would just say click on Maryland, and it would jump right down to the section that contained all the stations in Maryland. And it also laid out the exact address of all the stations, directions, information about whether or not you could buy tickets there. So that was probably one of the best in terms of that, in terms of the areas served. And the process for the bus schedule, it involved a lot of clicking, and it wasn't nearly as simple as others could have been. There was multiple steps that you had to go through, and different pages, and it didn't exactly make it clear what the exact itinerary was. So I thought that could have used some work, and it wasn't nearly as easy as it could have been. So each of them had different areas that they were best at, and areas that they could have used some work on. But overall, all of them had areas that made it very simple for a potential customer to use.